Right, we're up at the allotment. As you can see, different clothes, different day. I was supposed to come straight up, but didn't have time that day. I had to get off to work. So anyway, been up this morning. I brought up some more cabbages to... Actually, let me just show you what I've got. So I've got some more cabbages at the front, some leeks in the middle, and some French beans here. These are safari French beans. They're looking a little yellow. I've only just planted them about a week or so ago, and I left a tray on top of the cells. So when they all germinated and came up, they had no light for a few days, and so they were rather long and yellow. Anyway, they're beginning to go green, and I just want to get them out because, let me put this down. You probably can't see up there, so I'll show you, but the French beans that I have over in the bed here really have taken a hammering, and I thought perhaps it was the salt and so on in the bed, you know, from the seaweed. And I've pulled one out just for you to see, and basically they're just almost stone dead. Not all of them, but I did wonder if it might be because a year or two ago I made up some, what is this stuff? It's not milk. Anyway, basically I think what I may have done is put too much of it in the watering can and in effect poisoned them. I think maybe over strength. It's basically, done them in. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to harvest all the Mystique French beans that I've got on here and any safari that are coming, and then take out all the ones which are suffering and replant with the new ones in the tray. Right, let's get all these beans out first. You'll see all the lettuces, they've got to come out. They're all finished, and that's also going to clean some area for the French beans, the new ones. But I tried one of the leaves earlier. I thought these are reshooted from the base, so I tried one and it was yummy until I got down to the base, and it was so bitter, it was horrible. And that is a well-known thing. I just thought I'd test them. I think if you're growing French beans, might be a bit late to plant now. I don't know. It all depends really on where you are, where you're based, because it's quite sort of mild here in the southwest of the UK, zone 9A. I might get away with it. I haven't planted them this late before, so I actually don't know if it'll work. But we don't get frosts. In fact, I think we had, perhaps last year we had maybe 2 frosts, and they weren't heavy at all. So yeah, I don't know if these will grow and produce. Obviously the light levels are dropping as well. The days are now getting shorter. It means that the plants won't get as much sun as they would have done earlier in the year, but I'm going to give them a go. They're quite a quick growing crop. That's the last of those. This is everything that I've pulled up. As you can see, quite a few plants, and quite disappointed really. Anyway, I'm going to chuck this on the compost and then show you what the beans look like. I'm not too pleased with what happened, but I am quite pleased with the harvest, so I can't complain at that. That's what we've got from today. These are the safari, these are the Mystique, both a dwarf French bean. And I've cleared quite a lot of space here, taken a lot out. So now I'm going to get these lettuces out, put them on the compost, and then we can plant up the ones that I brought down. These lettuces were very nice when we had them, but like many things, sometimes you plant too many and you can't eat them all, can you? So just going to cut them off at the base. Right, let's grab these beans. Yeah, I sowed these into these deep cells from container wires again. So you just pop them up and they come out. Now, they're quite young, so there's not going to be an awful lot of root in the bottom of these. So they might collapse a little. Put up a trowel today, unlike last time. Dig some holes and get these in. Give them all a good drenching. Right, that's got all of those all watered in and done. I thought I'd just show you some few other things actually. The potatoes, these are first earlies, put in rather late, so they're still in the ground, but they're looking all right. No signs of blight yet. The flowers have been and gone, but I'm just going to leave them in a bit longer and just sort of see how they do. I haven't watered them, which I know is a really good thing to do, just as they're sort of beginning to swell, but I don't think I've got enough water to do that, unfortunately. These are stir-on onions. Now these were some sets that somebody had left by the gate. I can see this one's sort of collapsed, which is perhaps not so good. I was hoping they'd get a bit bigger than that, but the others are okay, so I'm going to leave those in for the moment. So they're the stir-ons. We've covered the French beans. And this is the kale. I don't even remember, we netted this a couple of videos ago, but you can see how well this is coming on now that it's got some netting over it. I'll cut to what these two look like earlier in the year. Once the pigeons had got to them, they were devastated, but look how beautiful they are now. Looking really good, really healthy. So I can probably take some of that home today. I've already watered them in and cleaned off the sort of rotten bottom leaves, because that helps, deter sort of slugs and snails. So that's the kale. Right, what I want to do now is I want to get these cabbages in. I'm just going to put them down by the courgettes. And earlier on I brought up some more plastic hoops from home, from the other allotment, which I'm not using up there at the moment. And they're the same as the others that I've put on both these beds. But somebody asked me, and apologies if I can't remember your name, but somebody asked me about the pipe and what it was and size and so on. And basically it's black HPPE pipe, I think it's a black water pipe. And I got it off the internet, I can't remember where. And someone asked me about the size of it. So the dimensions, I think you buy a roll, and I bought a roll of 50 metres, I think 50 metres. Anyway, it gets delivered. It was about 40 to 50 quid, something like that. And obviously it's going to last probably forever, really. It's really thick and solid, but the internal, that's how they do it. They do 50 metres and then they give you a diameter. And I think the diameter is the internal width of the hole within the pipe. So someone just asked what that was, so I was just going to measure it. So yeah, this is actually only 2 centimetres. So it's just that diameter is 2 centimetres. That's the pipe I'm using, because I think all I figured was all it's got to do is go over a bamboo cane at the time. That's what I was using. But now, obviously, as I showed in a previous video, I'm using these road pins. That's what they're called. I didn't mention that in the other video. They're sort of steel road pins. They're not galvanized or anything, but I now use these instead of bamboo. Apologies if I'm going over old ground if you've watched the other video. But yeah, I use these instead of bamboo because they don't rot and snap and end up inside the pipe. So yeah, these are really good. So this is what I'll be using to put in the ground and then slide those pipes onto when I make the hoop bed. So let's put these here. You've seen how tall this corn is getting. I don't know if you can see. These two types, well not two types, I planted them at the same time, but one was really root bound, and they're the ones on the end which are suffering, which I'll just show you. They're sort of suffering at the moment. So these here, which weren't all root bound and were in small root containers, are doing really well, and they've got to be about 4 to 5 foot high now, some of these. But these here, these were the ones that were really root bound. I don't know if you remember, if you look back in another video, you see when I was planting them out. Yeah, and they're really sort of stunted. It's quite different, but they are flowering and they are dropping pollen everywhere. Did you see that? Actually, I don't know if you saw that. See all the pollen coming off that? The wind's sort of blowing the wrong way, but so yeah, completely different. Right, I'm going to put you onto this speed photo now while I make up this hoop bed, and then when it's finished we'll get on and we'll plant out the rest of these cabbages and leeks. Right, first problem. These hoops are from a different bed, a much bigger raised bed in the other allotment. And I forgot that. And they're too high, basically, which means that the netting which I bought 3 meters wide isn't going to go over the whole of the hoop and reach. So I'm going to have to slide these off one end and then cut a section off the end here and bring them down to the same height as those, the first bed I did here. Got this handy saw. Don't know if you've ever seen these. It's a Barco saw. It's really good. It folds up like this. I use it for sort of outdoor sort of crafts and stuff like that. Basically, yeah, just can go in your pocket or on a tool belt or something. And crouching down is a bit odd here. And yeah, there's a little safety button on the side. You push that in, and then the blade comes out, saw blade like that. It's just like almost like a little pruning saw in a way. And I find this really, really helpful on the allotment. It has good teeth, so it's good for cutting through, you know, raised bed boards or stakes. I suppose if you're doing trees, it might be good, but we've got no trees. But yeah, it's good also for cutting plastic pipe. So I've got my tape measure as well. Just press the button, and then it releases it, and you can fold it in. It's like a safety thing. Yeah, it just sits in your pocket. Right, so I'm just going to measure the length of these hoops, just to get a rough idea to see how much I need to cut the others. Right, just take that bit off. Now slide this back on here, and the moment of truth. Hey, look at that. Right, it's about spot on. So I'm glad I didn't cut it any shorter. Okay, right, so all I'm going to do now is, presuming all these hoops are the same, just cut off this amount of length from each one. Right, slide that on there and see what they look like. Yeah, I'd say they're pretty much spot on, aren't they? So now just going to do the cane tying across the top, and then we'll cut the fabric and yeah, make up these hooped beds. Right, that's got all the canes on for this bed. It's all nice and secure. But what I'm going to do now actually is I'm going to get on and do some harvesting. It's getting really hot here. It's nearly midday. I've been here for hours and I'm beginning to burn, I think. Let's just get a penknife, get in there, cut that off, you can see. There we go. Right, what do you think? A bit yellow on the bottom, but yeah. I wonder if that would have been a massive marrow or something. Not quite sure. Anyway, we'll put it in the basket. We'll take it home, and I'm sure we will enjoy it. I'll grab this, take you down and see what we've got. These here, I think I mentioned in the name in a previous video, but I actually can't remember off the top of my head. I'll put them on the screen if I can find the name, but let's take this one. It's a beauty, isn't it? It's like a creamy white sort of skin to it. Yeah, lovely. So I put that one in there. Now there's another one on this next plant. I love that one out because this is perfect size. I don't like them when they're too small, and I don't like them when they're too big, so actually that's about bang on perfect, that one. Look at that. Right, put that one in. And there's one more to come on there, but you see, I think that one's a bit small, so I'm going to leave that one. There's one in here which is nice. Perfect size again. Alright, put that in. And again, I think there's another one on there, but I'm going to leave that. I think that could be a bit bigger. This plant has got some which need to get a bit bigger. And this plant hasn't got any. Right, let's grab the basket then. Now these are absolutely gorgeous looking, these courgettes. The colours are stunning. Look at this one. Right, let's cut that off. Yeah, amazing. Beautiful colour. Again, I'll put the name on the screen because I can't remember it off the top of my head. And for some reason, I can't see the labels. Another one here on this plant. Might be Soleil, that rings a bell. But I will put it on the screen. Lovely. Looking good. And then here, cut that one off. This place, this one on the end, always seems to do really well. Maybe it's because the water runs downhill. Not sure what it is. But these plants at this end of the bed seem to do better than the rest of the bed. Take that one. This one. Yeah, I really like these courgettes. They're firm and a beautiful colour, really nice. Okay, so not bad. Right, let's just take this harvest up and go and sit on the bench in the shade for a minute. It's nice and cool here in the shade, I tell you. The sun is full out now, but it's picked up a nice breeze, but kind of wish I brought my lunch. I could have sat here, couldn't I? I had a picnic and it just been perfect, so maybe next time. Anyway, this is what we got today. Some lovely courgettes and French beans. These are the safari, the green ones, the purple and mystique, which don't stay purple. I think I said that before, didn't I? Don't stay purple when you cook them, they go green. And yeah, and is this a courgette? Is it a marrow? Was it going to be a pumpkin? Don't know. Anyway, we shall enjoy it, whatever it is. I shall just spin you around actually, because I'm looking out over the wonderful view out over the Cornish countryside, over the hills and valleys, and just in front of that there's all the flowers on the flower bed. There's the Bonariensis, which is looking absolutely gorgeous at the moment, and I can see bees on it, so it's quite good for pollinators, that one. And then we've got the cornflowers, which have lots of bees on as well, and then all the Californian poppies, which have opened up in the sunshine and are sort of just getting into their stride, so really enjoying those. The gypsophilus on its way, the gladioli are just coming out, the reds and whites, and also the dahlias are just about, I don't know, just got the roots down, it feels, so I think they're going to be 2 or 3 weeks yet. Don't know what sort of amount of blooms we're going to get off them this year. It's all a bit slow. Anyway, as always, thank you very much for joining me, and thank you for watching to the end, if you did. Great to have you here. I shall see you in the next video. I think we'll be back up here to finish planting out the cabbages and leeks, finish off that hoop bed, and bring up 1 or 2 other crops I've got at home, which I sowed a couple of weeks ago. Okay, till next time, see you soon, bye for now.